Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So, you ever find yourself just wondering and ever stop to really think about when does a string of little things, those, oh, that's weird moments, stop being just luck or random chance and start feeling like something else? Something orchestrated, maybe? A pattern so tight it squeezes the air out of you. Let's talk about Charlie Kirk. Yeah, the conservative lightning rod, the guy who built TPUSA into a successful machine geared toward young minds, assassinated in broad daylight at UVU September the 10th. The official storyline, lone wolf, a grieved leftist. But come on, when do we call it more than a coincidence? Picture this. Charlie's out there day in, day out, riling up the masses. He's got enemies everywhere. Big tech, the deep state, the woke brigade. But the real questions, they swirl around the people closest to him, his inner circle, the ones who should have had his back. Let's start with Erica, his widow. She steps in after he's gone, takes the reins at TPUSA. Noble, right? But then those, leak calls and audios. Nonetheless, Erica's on the phone days after the funeral, talking about merch sales, branding deals like Charlie's death is just another pivot point in a business plan. We got to keep the momentum, she says. Momentum? Your husband's body is barely cold and you're workshopping t-shirts and hats. Coincidence? That stretch on so far from all the threats Charlie was getting weeks before he is actually killed. Big donors making threats to pull out because he had Tucker Carlson on stage in August. Then big donors get pissed and start sending him threats. Bill Ackman calls for a meeting in the Hamptons where Charlie was berated for having Tucker speak, and gets a phone call while there from none other than Bibi Netanyahu, telling him to comply and he would take TPUSA to the next level. Charlie declined. Charlie then starts telling Dan Flood, Frank Turek, he felt they were going to kill him. His words. And they are in text and it's confirmed. I mean, he was scared. He he felt that they were going to kill him. He told Candace he was going to die young. Candace, who was tight with him. Charlie and her debates, rallies, the whole alliance. Now she's out here on her platforms fighting for the truth of what happened to Charlie. His wife Erica never sheds a real tear, and they get caught in lie after lie. The behavior of everyone closest to him is so off. Dan given the arm signal the moment before the event that took his life happened. Mikey McCoy walks away with no urgency. The truck, he was driven to the hospital, never processed for evidence, auctioned off immediately. Terrell Farnsworth walking away into a spot. He takes a selfie video saying they just shot Charlie and he's dead. There's no way he would have known that. He didn't even see him. He didn't even look at him unless he knew that going into it. That was the outcome. That's what the outcome was supposed to be. Bibi announcing in Israel Charlie was gone before we knew Charlie was gone. When does that shift from coincidences to sinister? When does a real investigation start? And how? Everything is destroyed. An open campus sniper perch with a clear line. Reports say the team knew about elevated risks. Hell, there were protests planned, but no extra sweeps, no drone overwatch. Coincidence that key staffers start jumping ship post-assassination, fired or resigned? Amid whispers and financial funny business, TPUSA coffers were swelling. Donations pouring in after his death. Who's auditing that? Not Charlie anymore. People that busted ass during true grief, that were truly grieving over him. Hours and hours and hours putting things together for his funeral or big stadium events, fired with no reason given whatsoever. None. Just fired. Even though they were promised they wouldn't be. So look closer. Who's leading the charge? The same inner circle, weaponizing grief to purge dissent. What wild, sure, but when you connect the dots, pre-death rifts in the team, delete calls, audio exposing detachment, security lapses that scream negligence. It stops being what if and becomes how could it not be? See, coincidence is a coward's word. One odd thing, fine. Two, eyebrow raise. But a web like this, betrayals, leaks, power grabs, all orbiting the people who were supposed to protect him, that's when it crosses the line. That's when you realize maybe Charlie's real killer wasn't a stranger with a rifle. Maybe they were the ones smiling in his photos, shaking his hand, promising loyalty. And if that's true, well, God help us all. Because if your closest allies can turn the knife, who's safe? When does it become more than a coincidence? I'd say right about now. So if you haven't watched Candace Owens today, I would say that you should go over there and watch her show because she was given another tip with actual face calls and, Erica being announced as taking over the reins. And we will play some of them.
That we don't cut it, but we can play this to start.
Had private conversations with him. I want you all to hold on to those. And I want you all to remember those so deeply. I want you to journal about them. I want you to be able to tell your kids about them. I want you to put those in your heart as why you're still here with the Turning Point USA family, because that's what we want. And like I said to our small group after whatever day that was that I did the thing on TV, how many days are still rounded Friday. I told the team, I said, Turning Point USA will continue like my husband always wanted, and it'll be bigger than ever.
By the way, this was 5 days after Charlie was assassinated. And she always manages to keep her hands in her eyes to pull off crying, but she does not pull it off. Sorry.
And we're going to honor him by doing that. We're going to stay humble. We're going to work hard because that's what he would want. And we're going to just make it grow. And we're going to keep our eyes fixed on heaven. And, like even Stacy said, he's going to find ways to speak to us. And he's going to speak to you in different ways. Every person's going to be different, but you'll get little moments where you're like, okay, Charlie, I see you. It might be here on campus. It might be in quiet moments of the night, but he's here and he's more alive than ever. And he is, he's going to guide us. And we just have to remain humble. But again, what I told the team was, I will fight like hell to make sure that all of you have a job here. I don't want anyone to think their job's in jeopardy, because your family, if you choose to leave, that's different. I never will, and I promise you, I will make sure that I never allow a point to where you have to leave because we cannot financially afford you. And that is a promise. I want our family to stay together the best it can. Obviously, circumstances, there's unforeseen things that might pop up here and there that we can't foresee in the future. But for right now, the way things are, I would like to remain if they are status quo. And I think that's the best thing to do. And everything else we can worry about later. But I just want to let you know that you guys are all very loved. I'm very proud of you. And Charlie would be, I think Charlie's just, I'm trying not to say that he's obviously celebrating in heaven amongst so many things, but he's so proud of all of you. And he's so proud of all of you for keeping this mission alive. And he knows that you can do it. That's why you're hired. And he knows that you will be able to carry the torch, and he knows that you're going to do a great job, and you're going to be able to, even though days are going to be tough. Honestly, the nights are the hardest. Mornings are pretty raw too. But but just what I've noticed these past several days is if I didn't have the Turning Point USA family with me, all of you, I would be a disaster. I mean, I would be in fetal position 24/7. But the fact that we have a continued mission to look forward to, and we have our family, it's everything. And some of you, this is your chosen family. And just rely and lean on each other. That's huge. Leaning on each other is huge because all of you were together prior to this and we'll be together after this. And everything, and I told Justin this, it's going to be something where everything before September 10th, any email you were working on, any project you were working on is it's not that it's irrelevant now. It's just things have changed, obviously. And the mission has gotten deeper and the mission will grow deeper. But like, I just want all of you to know, we will be wise stewards. We will be vigilant. We will be humble. And I just want you to know that, again, I'm with you. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And we're going to make sure that we honor my husband so well, that this whole world knows what his vision was and will be. And it's just, I feel so blessed and honored.
And mind you, she's in the room with Stacy Sheridan, that always seems to be by her side. And like Candace pointed out today, the only person by her side, no, not family, not Charlie's family, not her own family, Stacy Sheridan, who, in my opinion, from the research that I've done, has made a killing at TPUSA and stood to lose a lot if that Doge got done. In my opinion, all of this is in my opinion and allegedly. But that was broken to 2, so I'm going to give you the other one now.
To say everybody grieves differently, so I don't have to answer any questions about that. And guys, we're going to bring in the beginning too, because I want you to watch the beginning of this so you can see the full thing, because we don't need to strip anything, because she starts by laughing, which I find to be interesting. But I do want to let you know that we are having some buffering issues. We still have major blackouts in Nashville, so we're doing our best here. If you have some connectivity issues, just know that that's the reason why. Here's the beginning of that call.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, look at all the thumbs up. Look how cute that is. Sorry, this is a little bit more informal than probably Charlie would be reacting. How sweet. I didn't know they could do that. I hate Zoom. I never like Zoom. Sorry, you guys. I just wanted to say, first and foremost, my heart obviously is broken for you guys as much as it is for our family. You guys lost not only a boss, but someone that you looked up to, someone that you believed in his mission, that you also that you loved. You loved listening to his show. You loved hearing his wisdom on things. I'm sure some of you have also had very personal moments of where you sat down and
So, yeah, that was the new leak today. And mind you, these little things are being dropped because they fired a bunch of people and people are pissed off, and very rightfully so. And I'm assuming, just like with everything else, because they're so effing messy, they didn't count on people recording and these things happening. Or they just think everybody is just too stupid. And here's the announcement letter that Candace received and released as well. So Erica Kirk announcement in Ecclesiastes, King Solomon wrote that mankind can be tested by God. Today we are facing such a test, yet we also know that God has prepared us with everything we need to overcome this ordeal. It was the honor of our lives to serve as the board members at Charlie Kirk's side. Charlie prepared us all for the moment like this one. He worked tirelessly to ensure Turning Point USA was built to survive even the greatest tests. And now it's our great pride to announce Erica Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board for Turning Point USA. All of us at TPUSA have a special role in carrying Charlie Kirk's mantle and completing his vision of bringing us all closer to our Lord and fostering a prosperous country in generations to come. As Charlie always said, we have a country to save. We will not surrender or kneel before evil. We will carry on and attempt to destroy Charlie Kirk's work will become our chance to make it more powerful and enduring than ever before. May God bless Erica, the Kirk family, and the entire team at Turning Point USA. Evil. I mean, evil is there. Then there was a couple other things here I want to show you. Let's not forget this. This one here.
Just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie.
Disgusting. And here, it's an arm signal from Dan right before. One more time. Clear as day. And this is Jack Hibbs, the pastor for the mega church in California.
Hey everybody, just an update on what's going on. It is 1:45 Pacific time. And as you guys have been watching the news, there's conflicting reports all around the globe, literally all around the globe. Israeli news service and Benjamin Netanyahu had made a comment and made the announcement that Charlie Kirk had passed, that he was in fact dead, that Charlie has died. They made that announcement roughly 20 minutes after the shooting. U.S. News reported nothing of that he was stable. Some reports said that he was in surgery. Of course, obviously, I've talked to people who were literally on this, in the presence of Charlie, trying to stabilize him. CNN is just now reporting that he is in fact passed. Tonight, special service this evening. Not exactly sure how this is going to work out. I'm going to be very honest with you, and I'm only speaking to the Calvary Chapel Chino Hills family right now. That I've had to make a decision between going through with service. Fox News is now announcing Charlie Kirk is dead. 1:46 Pacific time. Fox News. CNN is reporting that he has passed. So I first found out that he had passed shortly after Charlie was shot from Israeli news service. How they knew, but they knew.
Must be because they're the gifted special ones. Quite frankly, I thought he showed way more emotion than anybody around Charlie Kirk on a regular basis has. But how is it possible that Bibi Netanyahu announced 20 minutes after that Charlie was gone? How? Unless, in my opinion, that was supposed to be the outcome. Coincidence? Let's move on to lovely Lori.
Came from is not obvious, but this is a real message. Andrew Kovac can confirm it's real. Erica Kirk can confirm it's real that Charlie Kirk received this. Let's read this, okay? All of the people that trusted you, Jews and Christians, including me, why would you platform anti-Semites like Candace and Tucker? There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people the opportunity to spew their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti-Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well, what is it exactly that you disagree with? You threatened Jews and Christians with your 30 million followers. Are you kidding? Be very careful, Charlie. You are in violation of the 9th commandment by bearing false witness against your brother Judah. When was the last time you read your Bible, Charlie? I'm coming to you as a believer. Genesis 12:3. Obadiah and many more prophets warned that those who curse Israel will be cursed. Your TPUSA Tampa event was a disaster. Michelle Bachmann was booed, and about 10% walked out on her when she talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much by the hand of the Almighty, but he is going to lift his hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that he will wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by while their brothers, Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing. Don't be counted among the Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as the unfinished work God was going to do through you.
I can't think of a better person that could have read that text contextually, accurately, with inflection, other than Candace. And I know I showed it, but I'm just trying to get to the point of coincidences and there being far too many. But let's look at what she didn't release who that was, but we ended up figuring out who that was. And let's look at her rant. And her rant while she's driving, mind you. Full ass rant while she's driving.
His mocking voice and his mocking laughter, they were horrified by what they saw. I had 3 couples reach out to me who had been to the Turning Point USA conference. And this was in Tampa a couple weeks ago. They called me and said they were horrified by what they saw. Horrified. They saw Tucker Carlson get up and act like another crazy person, talking, condemning Israel, praising Qatar with his mocking voice and his mocking laughter. So Tucker gets up and speaks at this conference in Tampa, TPUSA, and right after him comes Michelle Bachmann. Michelle has 5 minutes to make an argument for why we have to stand with Israel to these young people at TUSA. When she starts talking in that conference about supporting Israel and why America should stand with Israel, the people in the audience start booing her. I spoke with her personally. She said 10% in the room got up and walked out on her. That is shameful. Then Charlie Kirk. This is his event. He's responsible for what people are saying and doing. Does he get up and condemn Tucker or correct Tucker for what he said about Israel and how dangerous Qatar is to us? No. Did Charlie get up and defend Michelle Bachmann? Did he condemn the people that got up and walked out on her and that booed her? Did he say why we stand with Israel, we support Israel? No, he didn't. That tells us everything we need to know. Tucker Carlson.
That lady is unhinged. And Lori, if you ever see this, you should not be doing videos while you're driving. Happy to see you're wearing your seatbelt. But I know you don't care about people's lives other than yours. And Michelle Bachman, certainly not Charlie, but you know, doing videos while you're driving is dangerous to other people. Try thinking about that maybe in the future. Lori, be very careful, Lori. Be very careful. Let's see. And then another text Candace showed. So anyway, I'm not sure if I will live to see the end of this revolution. I believe you were the peace God meant me to meet that will finish the fight. Since the beginning of TPUSA, I know in my gut that I might get wiped out at any time. I cannot explain it, but I dream about it all the time, like all the time. Anyway, that's depressing combo for another night. LMAO or time. She said that is so weird. More of fear, manifestation than articulation. Not really afraid of it, but I'm just telling you that I know it to be true. So, that's how he was feeling. I mean, I can't imagine a world where you're the successful person and you've done so much. And the mistake of a Tyler Boyer coming into your life, in my opinion, allegedly. And it starts the shit rolling downhill from there. Every single person brought in after that all had an ulterior motive, in my opinion. Every single one of them. They've all made millions and millions off of Charlie, and Charlie, I don't believe knew, which is Charlie. That's why Charlie put out, boom, that memo about putting Justin in place. Think about that. All of this happened within at most month, and then some couple days, a week, just before he was eliminated. To me, I feel like Tyler Boyer knew once that memo came out, shit was about to get real. And in my opinion, I feel like Stacey Sheridan and Tyler Boyer were terrified, and Erica. And then I actually seen this one, Eric Kirk on the Megyn Kelly show.
August, before all this happened, he had a event where he had some donors at, and one of the first questions they asked was, God forbid if something happens to you, like what would happen next, a turning point? And Charlie made a really interesting point. He said companies, example, Apple, Macintosh, he said they're founder-led. He said, but what I have built will one day, if I'm not around, be vision-led. And he had made mention at the end, like, Erica will do a great job running it.
Really? I mean, that word choices are rather interesting, because I don't believe for a second that the very guy that was constantly in fear, or I mean, he told Frank Turk he had a bad feeling. He told Dan Flood the night before he had a bad feeling. He's told Candace, yeah, let me throw my wife in that role that he supposedly, I don't believe that for a second. In my opinion, that's all a bunch of bullshit. And it's disgusting. And how is this gonna, how does all of this, right in everybody's face, and nothing is being done about it? Candace is fighting a good fight. Baron Coleman, Ian Carroll, Valhalla. I mean, everybody. Trigger Smart and Coach Colin. I mean, I can't name everybody, but if I left anybody out, I'm sorry. Everybody knows who you are. You know who the group is that is constantly researching and looking and trying to piece things together, doing tests. I mean, way more than the FBI or Utah officials ever did. There was no investigation. We still don't even know where he's buried, if he's even buried. So the question is where do we go from here? Even knowing what we know, I mean, I'm sorry, it's just too many coincidences for me. I don't believe it. And where do we go from here? How do we resolve that? Because they've destroyed the crime scene. They got rid of the truck. The only thing, in my opinion, I think they should take whoever they believe is the weakest person and snatch their ass up and lock them up and scare them, and hopefully they start singing and talking. And people are going to talk. That's just all there is to it. And how they didn't know that or count on that is really, it's beyond me. It's already happening. Maybe not the intimate details on the day of September 10th, but you know, all the people that are being fired that was smart enough to get out their phone and record low key. People are going to start talking, and the darkness is going to come to light, because truth is neat, clean. The lies are messy. They are messy. And everybody over there is messy as hell right now, if you ask me, in my opinion. And there's got to be something that sparks some kind of investigation into what really happened, and let the people that's really involved be charged. This is not justice. This is a mockery. So that's all I have for today. I think I've talked about enough cringeworthy shit, more than I can deal with today. So I hope everybody has a good night. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the video. Again, I'm new. I need all the likes and subscribes I can get to get me out there. If you like this content, and I say even if you don't, you should like and subscribe it anyways. And SJ, shout out to you. And I hope everybody has a good night. See ya.